Dublin's FM104, it is the Strawberry Alarm Clock, and on the phone are two lads who bumped into Outkast in Copperface Jacks the other night. Carl and Ciaran, good morning, lads.
Good morning. How's it going?
Now, Carl, I'm right in thinking that you don't really remember much of the night because it was...
Come on, Carl.
Always drink responsibly,
Why is that? Did you have too many hot dogs?
I had too many hot dogs at the American football game.
Okay.
I remember parts of it, but Ciaran remembers some other parts, so we were able to patch it together.
Okay, well, Carl, what do you remember? So you're in Copperface Jacks.
We were in the queue.
Queue for coppers.
So Outkast didn't queue up, or they did queue up. Sorry.
Yeah, what they did. Well, you know where there's a break in the queue for coppers, kind of halfway down. They were there, and they came in that bit. We saw André and got in a selfie with him. And while we were in a selfie with him, we saw Big Boi and kind of realised that, oh God, it's Outkast. And so gave someone the phone, and they took some photos.
And they were in good form, were they?
Yeah. Well, they were. No, it wasn't. We didn't have any long conversations, but we were just chatting to them. They were in good form.
Did anyone say, "Hey,
Sadly not.
No, good. No, it's good.
But you know the really weird thing is, lads, the guy who owns Copperface Jacks is called Carl Jackson. Yeah. Well, I hope they're saying, "I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson."
Well, so they queued up and they paid in, did they?
They didn't pay in. Ciaran could probably take over from there.
Ciaran, you were the less blurry one. What happened?
Carl kind of faded out by the top of the coppers, so he kind of went home.
Didn't even make it in.
We took the picture and then he faded out and went home.
Well, in fairness, once you've had a picture with Outkast, your night's not going to get any better, is it?
I was on a mission to get home and watch the UFC, and I made some bad decisions and left Outkast.
So you're friends with Outkast. You'd be probably. So, Ciaran, did you get chatting to them? Did you?
Yeah. So as Carl said, they were waiting at the queue. Basically, they were just standing outside the queue, and people were walking past them and didn't even notice that it was them. So we took the picture. We had a selfie with André first, which has kind of gone viral now. And then he called over Big Boi to take the other picture with the group, so we did that. And then me and Carl kind of were happy out, and we walked towards the door, the thing, laughing about getting this picture with Outkast. And Carl, as I said, Carl faded away then. And I turned around, just getting ready to show my ID to the bouncers, and then Outkast kind of walked up towards me then. And I think the actual bouncers of Coppers actually thought that I was walking in with Outkast.
They should have said, sorry, we're with him.
I was so confused. I was kind of just standing there, I had my ID, and I didn't know whether to show it or not. And they just walked past me, and I kind of just shuffled in the whole entourage that they had with them. There like 2 or 3 people with them.
So you didn't pay in either?
I didn't pay in either.
Okay, good, score.
So I walked up with them, and they let me just walk on straight out with them. And I remember walking in the door with them, and a blonde-haired girl walked past me, and I was just going, this is going to be my opportunity here. So I grabbed her, and I goes, do you know who this is? And she was like, no. And I was like, this is Outkast. And she goes, no, it is. And I was like, I swear to God, this is Outkast. And she took out her phone, Googled the picture of Outkast, was standing in front of them with her phone looking at this picture, and she still didn't believe it was the two of them.
You're a joke.
Did you get her phone number?
I didn't. I walked away.
So you used the fact that you had Outkast there to try and score?
But I was that disgusted. I was just like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
You're a legend. Right. And did you talk to them at all, or was that it?
I talked to them then. They kind of stood in the same place. They didn't even go to VIP, well, if you can't say VIP coppers. They didn't go anywhere. They stood in the same place the whole night. They had like a bottle of wine already in their hand or whatever they might have had. So I kind of just stood there, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for a walk now. So I walked around, and then 2 hours later I came back. I had my cousin, and I asked them, could I take a picture then with them? And they weren't taking pictures at that stage, but the bouncer kind of stopped me when I was asking Big Boi, could I take a picture with my cousin? And the bouncer goes, we're not taking any more pictures. But then Big Boi said he'll take one more picture. And this is on my cousin's phone. But he was kind of smart about it. He pulled his hat down really low. And then when I was just about to take the picture, he stuck his head down. So basically all I got was a picture of his hat.
Oh, no.
And he stuck his head up then and started laughing. And I was just like, oh, you knew what you were doing there. And then
did you ask him when his bloody Jimi Hendrix film is coming out? We've been waiting for 2 years for it.
I didn't just, he's keeping that to himself.
Are they tall, or what are they?
Under 3,000 is very tall.
He is.
Not gonna lie. Big Boi, not really. He's built though.
More little boy, is it?
Yeah, no, I had a feeling he'd be tall, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, André, his glasses were amazing. This stole the show, basically. He didn't take them off all night. He probably was blind walking around Coppers.
And were there ladies going over and saying, how are you doing there?
Any nurses?
I really don't think people knew who they were in Coppers. Like, anytime I walked past them, there wasn't that many people around them.
In fairness, if I walk by them, I know what André looks like, but not to the point where
I
straight away.
definitely know them, all right, to see.
No. I was disgusted by the girls. She literally took a picture out and still didn't even notice the was. It's like, oh.
And when Ciaran then, Carl faded away, but how did your night pan out?
My night panned out all right. I was in Coppers till about 5:30, and then I went and got food and went home.
Did you meet anybody nice?
I'm not gonna...
A guard wouldn't ask him that.
Did you meet anyone nicer than yourself?
I can't.
You can't
No,
you can't go into that for legal reasons. All right.
He got a kebab,
Yeah.
a kebab and a selfie with
Outkast. That's a pretty good night.
Yeah, I'm on the hunt for a Coppers gold card now.
And we actually have two, but our names are on them, so we can't give them to
But
you.
I don't understand why Outkast went to Coppers. Like, you would have imagine they'd
For
be
the
in...
crack, why not?
But you'd imagine they go to,
I don't know,
Buskers or something.
I
the
think it's kinda
residence or
cool.
something, yeah.
I think it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
I know, they were literally just standing there, and they didn't even go into VIP or nothing. They just kind of stood there at the side of the dance floor.
And they weren't wearing their county colours, were they?
They weren't wearing the county colours.
They weren't trying to find a couple of nurses or something, were they?
I was expecting a big American flag behind them.
All right, well, listen, lads.
That's a mad story, lads.
Thanks a million. We'll give you a couple of cuddle mugs for that story.
That's it.
That's well done. Fair play to you. There they go. On the street reporters, Carl and Ciaran in Coppers. Keep your eyes out.
Where will they be next week?
I don't know if
we'll
you'll have
find out.
It's not really the home of hip hop.
Next week we send them to the right venue and see if they score out there.
And Carl sees if he can fade past 10:30. All right, cheers, lads. Thanks very much. There they go. It's the
play.
Strawberry Alarm Clock. It's FM104.